the big thing that happened in the second year when I met this girl. And when I say I met this girl, you've got to remember the time. This was the 1980s. Now, what happens is you have a dating app, and your profile can be matched with someone else's profile, and it can come up on your phone, and you can look at it and go, ooh, I'll have a think about that. That didn't happen in the 80s. In the 80s, we left the house and went hunting. And you had to act on it. You couldn't go, and ponder and think about it. You had to act on it or it would be gone. Unless, of course, it was in a nightclub. Completely different in a nightclub. Completely different. People in this room of my generation will not believe how these apps have changed nightclubs. Because you know what happens now at the end of a nightclubs? The lights go on. That's it. All the dating's already done. The lights just go on. They're all going, Oh, the lights are on, it's over, that'll do enough. But that didn't happen in our day. What used to happen in my day, there used to be a signal from the DJ to all the lads in the room to say, listen, lads, 4 songs left. You've got 4 songs to decide between a shag or a kebab. And it worked. It worked. You'd be with your mates having a drink and, I don't know, fucking the Commodores would come on, or Johnny Logan. And you'd be having a pint with your mates, and then we'd all turn into lions looking for an antelope with a limp going. Lads, I'm going to go and see what's left. And that's what it was like. And the reason that there's no slowies anymore is because today it would be called assault. Because you'd see a girl on the dance floor and you'd just fucking grab her. You'd just, on the hips, right there. Fucking hell. And it was called the erection section for a reason. Because fellas in the 80s had no chat. We had no way of talking to you as a chat. The little fella did all the talking for us. He likes you. And that doesn't change. That doesn't change. That is so basic. That doesn't change. Any woman in here, if you've lived with your man for more than 5 years, right? If you've lived with your man for more than 5 years, you've won. You have already won. Do not worry about your man going out. If your man's going to go out for a weekend with his mates on some stag do or whatever it is, or some works do not worry that your man is going to go out chatting women up. Because if he's lived with you for more than 5 years, he's not chatting anyone up because he doesn't know how. Because if you've lived with a woman for more than 5 years, you'd only know how to ask for sex one way. And you can't walk up to some girl you don't know in the bar and just press into her back. You know, I just hope she turns around and goes, oh, go on then. So what happened? I saw this girl in the library. And I remember every detail of it. I remember every detail of it. She had big hair. Fucking bigger than you think. Massive head of hair. Fucking up there. Honest to God, if you were in the 80s, you don't know. If this show was in the 80s, unless you were sat on the front 3 rows, you wouldn't see anything. Big head of hair. And she had glasses on, and she had a white shirt on, faded denim jeans, and little Reebok boots. I was wearing a tracksuit. Again, you may not know this if you weren't around, but at that time in England, by law, if you had this accent, you had to wear a tracksuit. So I was in the library, and I saw her, and I looked at her, And there was just something about her. I knew straight away there was something about her. I was 21, a young man full of hormones and hope. And I saw her, and I looked at her, and she did the sexiest thing I'd ever seen a woman do. She looked at me and she went, I mean, how horny is that? Look at her. I mean, I've just done that and half the fellas in here have had a quiver in the pants. I thought it was the biggest come on ever. I mean, when I started going out with her, I found out she was long-sighted, but I didn't know it. So she went like that. So I thought, oh, that's the come on. So I walked over to her. And again, I remember every detail of it. She sat at the table, and so I chatted her up. None of this stuff on apps to see if I matched. I went over deep end. That's what you have to do. And I just walked over to her and went, I said, I'll be back in a minute. We can go for a coffee. To which she said, what makes you think I want to go for a coffee with you? To which I said, and this is the killer, 'cause you do. And I walked away. And I was telling this story on stage a few years ago when she came to the gig. She said, what are you telling people that story for? I said, because that's what happened. She said, no, it's bloody not. She said, you didn't walk away. She said, you pissed off. She said, you pissed off and you left me there for 45 minutes. She said, I could not believe how cocky and arrogant you were. She said, I sat there for 45 minutes thinking, who does he think he is to leave me? Sat here for 45 minutes. She said, if I didn't have an assignment to fill in, I would have already left. I couldn't believe how cocky and arrogant that you were to leave me for 45 minutes. I went, whoa. You've kept that in all of these years. I couldn't believe it. Because I don't know what it's like for everyone else in this room, but when we go on holiday, my wife always manages to pack all the arguments we've had no time for throughout the year. So that the first 4 days of any holiday is shit. But she's going, right, let's see what you did in March, dickhead. I said, I can't believe that that's what you think. I said, because that's not what happened. I said, yeah, it took a while to come back, but it's not for the reasons that you think. I said, every step I took towards you, I could see that you were out of my league. And when I got to you, I dropped my best line, 'cause you do. I said, then I walked away thinking, shit, what am I going to say next? I haven't got anything to top that. That's my best line. I said, so I spent all of that time trying to think what to say because I didn't want to get it wrong. I knew I had one shot with you. I knew I had one chance. And I knew there was something special about you and I didn't want to get it wrong. So I spent all of that time being nervous, being too scared to come back and talk to you, which is mental. And it just shows you how relationships change because that woman that I was once too nervous and too scared to talk to, I am comfortable enough with now to make love to while the dog licks my foot. Because that's marriage, isn't it? You know what I mean? You just find yourself going, she's like that. What's wrong with you? Frickin' dog's licking me foot. Yeah, he'll be finished before you.